Ladies and gentlemen, this is Piedra Fria on the Beanzzzandrice podcast. This is another episode here for you. And we're just going to kick it off like a Royal Rumble. Talking some shit, talking some smack. I'm so chilly, I'll make his willy soft. Fucking cockman Rick, piece of shit. Can I get a hell yeah?
Hell yeah. Listen here, bottom taker. Are you ready to get taken down by Rick the Rooster Cockman?
Now listen to me. When you talk to the bottom taker, you have to give it to me from the bottom. Whether it's your heart or your pantalones, amigo. Because nothing Rick can do will get him this dick. Okay? The only thing that's going to get taken is your bottom.
We're stopping this immediately because Piedra Fria said so.
And shut up, Piedra Fria.
We're moving on.
You don't even speak Spanish.
It's February 2nd, 2021. It's Groundhog's Day, everybody.
Oh, yeah, wake up. The groundhog, he's fucking in quarantine, dude.
He's quarantining, so it means 6 more weeks of fucking winter. Like we even had a winter anyway. It's snowed like 3
It
times.
was so nice this weekend,
It's been
dude.
40-degree wet, like mid-40s, slight gusts of wind. I've been outside with shorts and a shirt sleeve.
Dude, it was so nice this weekend. I went to the park. Now, the only thing, it was like so hot. There was like some of the ice there that was kind of melting some of the ice caps. And I sat down, dude, because I was playing fetch with my dog. And as soon as I got up, dude, my ass super soaked. So then it looked like I shat my pants, and I'm like walking the dog, you know? People behind me, I got this big old wet
It looked
spot,
like you
dude.
just bought a water gun from the 90s.
I look like that bottom taker, dude. At the park, bro.
You really
Like
got
back
taken
to the
down?
dude. Yeah, at the park, dude. This guy went-
You saw the rooster, man.
Yeah, I saw the rooster guy, dude. Rooster Rick was there, dude. I passed him with the dog, and then Sonny stopped for a little bit, and he passed me, and he was like trying not to be awkward. He's like, hey, you know? 'Cause
He's probably thinking you have
my ass
incontinence.
was all wet, you know? It's like,
You can't
oh.
keep your shit in, so literally you have incontinence.
And I didn't notice it until he saw, you know, he gave me the weird look.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, I gotta get home. Probably people think I shat my pants, dude.
That'd be super awkward.
That IBS, dude. Used to be a
No.
computer.
Yeah. R.I.P. IBM.
Yeah.
They went under. Google Stadia. Literally R.I.P. They're no longer offering that. It was a shit service anyways.
Google what?
Stadia. It was an online
Never even heard
streaming
it.
games. It was poor technology. We just don't have the bandwidth capacity, I think, necessary for it to be effective. And
Well, yeah, I mean, Puerto Rican internet's super bad, isn't it?
we don't have internet out there.
They never rebuilt the lines after the hurricane?
Dude, what's internet is fishing. Like if you have a fishing net, that's what they think internet
in
is.
the inside?
In the net.
There's just a double net.
It's the fish in the net. So
You got any nets, Javi? Any fish nets? You been wearing
No.
anything? No?
No, I'm
No
just in
fish nets
sweats
tonight?
today, you know? It was a little too
Just
cold
sweats,
today.
dude. But it's Groundhog Day. Is there any other holidays other than Groundhogs? That's another Caucasian holiday. Sorry, guys.
All these days are Caucasian.
Well, we are in America, Javi.
True.
Okay, be
Very true.
considerate,
Very
dude.
true. All right. So the next national holiday. And I don't know. Let me know if you guys have heard about this one. National Heavenly Hash Day.
Yeah, that's a strain of
that- is that-
marijuana,
is
you
that a-
think?
I was about to say, is that weed?
The Emily Hash, dude?
Or is that a nice brunch dish we've never
Yeah.
heard of?
Probably
Somebody
both.
trying to see God, you know? Like, hey, give me the
Let me
Heavenly
talk to
Hash.
Jesus real quick.
Yeah, dude.
Just some heavenly
Yeah, dude,
hash.
some heavenly hash with the side of angel dust.
The Holy Trinity, dude. Get that third eye freaking open, dude.
Man, that's what killed Biggie Smalls, R.I.P.
And that angel hash, dude. I don't know. What was it called? Heaven hash?
Heavenly hash, yeah.
It's probably like an LDS. They have funeral potatoes. Heavenly
Hey, those
hash.
funeral potatoes, though.
Huh? That's why people die, bro.
Yeah, just
Or
to
I
have
wonder,
those.
maybe that person had a stroke while they were typing and it's supposed to be heavenly hashtag. You know, they were trying to spread the word.
the word of God, and
And they just died at
Either
the
they
keyboard.
went to heaven.
They died,
still
their,
wanna
their
heaven.
head hit the enter keyboard, it hit send, posted, heavenly hash.
Do you think if you're posting something about heaven and then you die unexpectedly, do you think you go to heaven?
No, if you're a piece of shit human, you're not going to heaven,
No.
regardless of what you're tweeting about.
It's like you're doing the nicest thing. You're like saving a lady that's gonna get. So you just rob the bank, you know, and then
Yeah.
this lady's gonna get ran over by a car, but you push her out the way and you get ran over. You think
Well, I mean,
you
it
go to
depends. I
heaven?
mean, that's just one event. It's
That's
not a whole
that's
life.
an unfortunate series of events right there.
I mean, I'm just saying, and I'm sure that has. I mean, maybe that has happened. Who knows?
Peter Parker, dude. Remember?
I mean,
P.
he
Mary
let the
Jane?
robber go, so
That guy's
technically
going
he
to hell,
committed a
dude.
crime. Yeah,
He killed his own freaking grandpa, man.
his uncle.
There was
Ben.
no heavenly hash for him, dude.
Dude, Uncle Ben didn't. Yeah, you can't save Uncle Ben.
He was already like what didn't he have like high blood pressure and stuff like that, Uncle Ben?
Duh, well, if you lived with Aunt May, you would too, man. She doesn't get
hard.
it.
It was hard. But yeah, shout out to Heavenly Hash Day.
He couldn't enjoy his retirement. He had to adopt some kid that gets bit by a spider, cries about it. Now he has all these superpowers.
Must suck.
And he's still broke, huh?
Yeah, bro, what an idiot. Because he takes pictures of himself. He's the original selfie taker.
Dude, I like that. Smart.
Yeah.
God, he's just fucking. What's that? When they're like so into themselves, what's that thing called?
Egotistical?
He's the narcissist,
He's
dude.
a narcissist,
Spider-Man.
yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna set up my tripod over here, dude. I'm screwing on this web, you know.
He
Then
was-
I'm gonna sell it. What a fraud, dude.
And he'd sell it for like $40.
That's
No.
where their Kardashians got their game plan for
Oh,
becoming famous, dude.
No wonder
Probably.
freaking
Think
Wall
about it.
Street crashed, dude.
Yeah.
Let me call the
Freaking-
paparazzi and let them know where I'm gonna be. 3 o'clock,
Spider-Man,
you know.
They got that web shot in their face. One of them did, at least.
That
It's all
bo-
sticky.
The original bottom taker, dude.
By the cock man.
Oh, dude.
All right.
Anything else?
Yeah, this last one, very Caucasian as well. National Tater Tot Day.
Ooh.
Which
What
I
are you guys'
super agree with. This,
What's
I love
your
tater
stance?
tots.
You love tater tots?
I
Oh
love
yeah,
them,
dude.
Dude, I remember. I'm pretty sure it was Taco Time. They probably don't anymore because it's racially insensitive. I remember they used to call them Mexi Nuggets. You guys remember that? Dude, I promise you. My brother and I had this discussion. They used to call them Mexi Nuggets. I swear. I'm not even kidding you. Because my brother and I were talking about it. And he was talking about like how sensitive people are. And I go, dude, was it me or do you also remember Taco Time calling their tater tots Mexi Nuggets? And he goes, I remember that too. So unless he and I just both implanted that in our heads.
I just
That's what
looked
I
it
remember.
up and it was it says Taco Bell.
Had
Oh,
the
Taco
Mexican
Bell.
nuggets?
Okay.
Yeah, Taco
Damn,
Bell.
I was like,
you
I've
Mexican
traitor,
nuggets.
huh?
I swear it was one of them. I couldn't remember which one.
And then Donald Trump called, one of the babies Mexi Nuggets. That's what got canceled, dude.
There's actually
Dude,
there's
He
a
hijacked the
petition.
word.
No, Taco Bell's still around because he pardoned Taco Bell. Trump pardoned Taco Bell.
All their fucking lizard meat.
Yeah, I read that in an Amelia Bedelia book. Amelia Bedelia wears red stockings.
Oh yeah.
It's a good book. Good children's
Just like the
book.
president's tie, the former president's tie. But what were you saying, Javi?
Oh no, I was gonna mention there's actually a petition to bring the Mexican nuggets back.
Oh, yeah, there we go. So we're
who
gonna
knows?
hashtag Mexi Nuggets.
Yeah.
Would you guys be in
Make
support
sure.
of that or no? Like, does that offend you?
No, Mexi Nuggets, dude. It sounds like a fiesta in my mouth, dude.
Very little offends us.
Well,
I feel.
you would imagine
Throw a
it'd be
little
seasoned.
pico on there.
Yeah, it'd be seasoned.
Oh man, throw a what? Maybe a little bit of sour cream if you want.
Your
Cheese.
guys' favorite tajin.
Yeah.
No, not on those, bro. That'd be horrible.
You guys put tajin on everything.
not on fries. dude.
Pineapple,
Yeah,
watermelon.
fruits.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Potatoes aren't fruits, okay? Those are a vegetable, man.
I don't care.
But yeah, tater tots. I remember when you were a kid, and you get remember how the lunch ladies are the lunch mans, and you get those tater tots. Woo! And sometimes they make them mushy, and like tater tots is like if they're mushy, fucking horrible. But when you get them crispy, and you get them golden, and they got that crunch. Oh, the best.
I went
dude.
through a phase of hating tater tots. Like, I liked them as a kid a lot. Then and maybe it's because I had so many mushy ones at school, I just ended up hating them.
Yep.
And then recently, now as an adult, a couple years ago, I started getting back into them.
Yeah, because it's they also have like like loaded what is it, loaded tater tots. I think it's like in God,
That's a bar thing now, right? Where they put like
Yeah, they put a bunch of stuff on
chives
them.
and
They'll put
and
chives,
everything.
cheese, bacon.
All that good stuff. Those are actually my favorite. I haven't had those in a while.
Oh, those are good.
Good
You
stuff.
can eat them with breakfast. You can eat. I mean, you can eat them with anything.
Well,
burgers,
potatoes are very
breakfast.
versatile.
Yeah, dude.
Shout out to Idaho.
They're all gender neutral,
Yeah.
or maybe they're neutralist. I don't know what it is. But yeah, potatoes are pretty cool.
I hate potato salad, though. I hate it.
Potato salad,
Disgusting.
and I just hate it when the mayo goes bad.
I'm not a
That's
fan.
like when mayo goes bad on anything.
The mayo's
it's
a pretty
the
bad thing when
worst,
it goes
dude.
bad.
You make any type of
'Cause
salad
it's
with mayo.
oil and eggs.
And then you take it out. You go to the park. You go to the lake. Oh, we're gonna go swimming. Oh, I brought the
You
salad.
got like a good 5 minutes before
You
that
let
thing
that
goes bad.
stew? Oh man.
Especially in the summers.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude,
You
it's like
legit-
swamp, dude. It's like you're freaking drinking swamp potatoes, bro.
Ugh, I hate
Instead of
salad.
potato
Survival of
salad,
the
dude.
fittest. Just grab your Coke.
But yeah, Taco Bell, bring the Mexi Nuggets back. I'll be a customer. Not that I'm already a customer, but those
Oh, they're
nachos-
bringing the loaded fries back. Did you see?
I didn't see that.
The cheesy nacho fries, those ones.
Dude, I thought they were gonna bring back the loaded potato burrito because that's what like a lot of people love.
I just been watching because I remember you guys were talking about the commercials for the loaded fries, how they were cool.
Yeah,
And this one's like another like a
The-
scary one, like
the
they're about to
nacho
be
fries.
Satan.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then it's like nacho fries.
nacho fries are so good.
But yeah, I mean that's it. God, not
The holidays were a bit
holidays.
lackluster. You know what I mean?
The last couple holidays, dude, we've been freaking going on a rampage.
It would take us down a route we didn't even know we were going.
We were getting.
I feel like it's
canceled,
only
dude.
because the groundhog is quarantining, you know. But
Yeah, probably that kind of fucked it up, huh? The groundhog. Imagine how sad it is for a
Dude,
groundhog.
but what a lazy piece of shit. He works one day a year. He's the other Santa Claus. Except he doesn't
He's the
give
real-
anything. He doesn't
the
give
real-
anything to nobody. He doesn't give anything. He doesn't even give coal.
it just gives you bad news.
Like
once
people
in a while.
think coal's such a bad thing.
He's
Back
like,
in the day,
"Ah."
we didn't have central heat. Coal will help heat up your house. Seems like a win.
He just goes out. Oh, it's gonna be a long winter. That's it.
Dude, let's cancel that stupid gopher
God, dude.
or groundhog, whatever the hell he is.
Hogs,
What's the
dude.
difference between a groundhog and a gopher?
I don't know. It's like why is it called a groundhog? It's a good question. Because yeah, there's like regular hogs, and it's not like they're flying hogs. Although there is flying hogs,
Yeah.
but regular hogs aren't groundhogs, even though they're on ground.
And I mean, there's moles, and I know moles look different. And there's prairie dogs, which
Prairie dogs. I
Oh,
think
like
a prairie dog might be the similar to a groundhog, isn't it?
yeah, I just think it looks smaller is all it looks like though, and maybe less chunky.
Yeah, I heard you got to. They're scared of like ultrasonic sounds and shit like that. So if you have like a bunch like an infestation in your house, you got to throw like sound waves at them to like scare
Just buy a
them
bunch of flashbang grenades.
They come out, dude.
torch.
Like in Call of Duty, and then you
Yeah,
just shoot them.
all of them come out, dude. It's one of those world winters. What are those ones?
Just napalm.
They throw an ice age, dude. That's what would probably happen, bro. You kill all the hogs.
It looks like the White Walkers from Game of Thrones.
It's a freaking
They're
ice
just
age,
roaming
dude.
around.
But dude, it hasn't snowed. I think it might snow this week.
I think it's literally snowed probably what 5 times.
And it was like not even. It was like barely anything.
Yeah, like, and it's only stuck once. I think.
So I'm ready for the snow, dude.
Dude, I think we do need snow because it's been pretty bad winter.
Like that's the thing that for me hasn't like clicked in. It's already everything's already been weird with like 2020, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like 2020. I was like, oh, I just want it to snow a little bit. You know, a little bit back to normal. No, still weird.
It is
It's been
weird.
dragging on.
I mean, I do want to take up winter sports. I mean, I ended up going ice fishing, which I guess is a winter sport if you really think about it. But I want to do something like on the mountains, just because we have such nice. And I've done it before, but it's just so damn
Have
expensive.
you been snowshoeing?
No.
Yeah, I kind of want to go snowshoeing, but then I don't know. It's like, so what do you do when you go snowshoeing? Are you just like taking a hike?
It's literally a hike.
Basically, right?
Yeah.
So that's like just go with regular shoes at your park. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought maybe there was like someone else like with snowshoeing, something else would happen. You know?
I mean, maybe you probably see some wildlife because when it's cold, the wildlife usually has to be a bit more active to go scavenge for food. So you might see some people will see like cougars and stuff, and not the ones you want to pick up, like the
Freaking
old
perverts,
foxy
not
ladies.
the city ones.
Yeah, not the urban ones.
Yeah, dude.
The wildlife ones that will kill you with a swipe at your throat.
Oh, like that
Carry
video.
a
Remember here in
tree.
Utah of that guy
Dude,
that was getting
yeah.
chased by the cougar?
It's getting stalked by mountain lions. I guess is what they call them outside of. I don't know where they
A
call.
puma.
Yeah.
Dude, isn't that okay? So that's one weird thing because there's like the puma is the same thing as a panther, as a mountain lion, as a cougar. It's like we're talking about hogs and prairie dogs and stuff like that. Like it's like the same thing for the cat. You know, they call it a large cat. They call it a panther. They call it a black panther. They call it a puma. They call it a what else do they call it? They call it
I don't know
so
what
many
the fuck they
names.
Call it.
BYU. They call it so many things, dude.
Yeah, and then the fucking scientists, because they have all the studies down and they understand the DNA and the genomes, and like, well, they're the closest relative to blah blah blah. So they get to name these creatures, and they're always like, well, the chimps share the closest DNA to humans because it's like 99% close to humans, but they're vastly different as far as kind of maybe social interaction and the advancement of their development of their brain. But if you want to be honest about the DNA, I think that a banana shares 60% of its DNA with a human. So that 99% means absolutely shit. Damn. Yeah, really. I'm positive that a banana's DNA makeup is 60% the same as Homo sapiens.
Dude, I didn't even know bananas
so like
had
when
DNA.
when I figured that out, like when I found that out, I'm like, so either that is lying to me, and if it isn't lying to me, then just because a chimp is 99% human, fuck that. We don't look anything like a banana, and it's more than half of our DNA. So what does this 99% mean? What does it mean?
Dude, I
fuck
don't know.
You, scientists.
But I was watching videos of
Scientists should get canceled for when they make up shit and it's never right.
They call it something weird, like, oh, we found this bird in where did we find it? We found it in the chimney.
In Mesopotamia.
You know? No, we found it in the chimney, and it's the first time we see this type of bird. They call it Chimneus burflacius. Like, dude, really? They don't even try. They just like add like Chimneus burflacius, or they found another one at what's another spot you can find a bird? They found it in a tree. You know? They call it Triaceus avis trucis.
My issue is when a scientist is like dead wrong, they never get checked.
So when has a scientist been wrong?
Pluto, they change their minds all the time about that stupid
that's a good one,
thing.
dude. Oh, it's a planet. It's not a planet.
But the thing is this. So someone said it was. And then another one comes and discredits that person who said it was. So, I don't know, like, who gets to decide that?
Yeah, but that's like...
Do you feel like, as a population, we should get to vote with that? That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, because it means...
Okay, like...
Because then it goes trending, and the review... Oh, no. Cancel Pluto, dude. People will try to cancel him. He's like... He's the darkest planet.
Trying to live his best life.
Yeah, he's the darkest planet.
Telling him what he is or what he isn't.
What he is.
There's a... I think... I don't know if it's Bill Burr.
Who he
He's the first planet-neutral planet, bro.
I can't remember.
Whatever that means.
He's non-binary.
Yeah, non-binary planet, dude.
Non-solar system conforming.
Yeah, dude.
But I think it's Bill Burr. I could be 100% wrong, but there's a comedian that has like a joke about that, and he goes, imagine being the kid that failed that science test because they said Pluto isn't a planet, so he was technically right, but, forward 50 years later, he's like, what if that kid had aspirations to be like an engineer or a doctor that could solve cancer, but because he failed that science test, he decided he didn't want anything more to do with it. So you ruined his future because a scientist was wrong. They should face some repercussions for it.
Yeah, but then imagine like back in the day when they, barely they had a magnifying glass. They're like, oh, I'm looking at Mars, and they're like making up like all these rules. Imagine how weird it'd be to trust someone. Like, it's weird to trust people now with, like, some of the stuff that they say. It's awful to trust people now, But just imagine back then when it's, like, everybody's stupid, but, everybody's, like, a pirate. Everybody's, like, just drunk. They don't even shower. And then you got a couple guys that are, what am I, bottom feeder or whatever? They got a couple bottom takers out there. Oh, I looked at the stars and, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, like, those guys are like, are we going to believe him?
Yeah, it's so hard.
Wouldn't that be crazy back then to convince someone?
It's interesting because now we have supposedly an abundance of information at our fingertips.
And people are the most confused now.
Because there's always conflicting info. I mean, haven't you seen studies that say, there's literally two studies. One says eggs are terrible for your health, and another one says they're like one of the best things you could eat, period.
Yeah.
Like, I think we talked about it.
Yeah, we were talking about cholesterol.
So, like, which one do you believe?
Just great. The cholesterol.
And then I love when people are like, oh, it says so on the government websites. Like, the government has lied to our face time and time again. You don't think they can lie on the internet?
Dude.
You can lie on the internet. Who's stopping you from lying on the internet?
Triggered.
I could act like a little girl on the internet, and no one would know.
People were saying, oh, Mavis Beacon, she's a real woman. Yeah. She's the real African-American woman. She knows how to type.
She taught people computer.
Yeah. She was the first African-American lady in leadership. Guess what? It was all a myth. She's not even a real lady.
Mavis Beacon was made up.
Yep. A figment of my imagination. Unless it's like one of those, what are those things? It's like the something paradox where, you see like the Arby sign, but then like...
You think it's the Nelson Mandela effect.
The Mandela effect. Have you seen that? Have you seen that, Javi?
Yes, sir.
Some of that thing's
trippy, huh? Bears.
Yeah, it's trippy, yeah.
You think the Mandela, it's like they have the Ford, like the
The only one that ever really bothered me was the Looney Tunes one.
Which one was that?
where like the tunes is spelled like.
T-U-
Well, now it's TUNES.
Oh no,
But
for
back
me it was
then-
always TOONS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was so you the same, huh?
Yeah, and it makes
TOONS?
even more sense because the cartoon.
Yeah.
I never understood this tunes. Like they don't.
And now
I mean,
it's
sometimes they play
TUNES?
music, but
Or
they're not a
the
band.
Bernstein Bears.
Yeah.
That was
And which
another
one is it? I still don't know.
For me it was like the BEIRN, like Steen. I'd have to see it, but yeah, it's like that one for me was like another one that stuck, and then the Ford one
Yeah.
was also pretty weird, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like a lot of people are time traveling, dude. Reptilian humanoids, dude.
They're fucking changing history before and after it happens. So I mean, Mandela
Wouldn't
effect
that be
is
cool? It's just like aliens are like, oh, aliens, you know, people are like, there's aliens here, but they're just like here fucking with us.
Yeah, they just they changed
Oh,
something.
the biggest trolls in the world.
Yeah, they're just
have been
trolling us.
aliens.
Yeah, that's just how they pass their time.
We're gonna switch the Adidas
They're
sign a
so
little bit, you know,
like far advanced. They don't need to eat or anything anymore. They just come and fuck with us, dude.
just little subtle signs, you know. Oh, we're gonna change this Bernstein's verse. Cam Jensen was also a popular book. You know, I'm gonna turn it into a man this time. And then I go back and read it. So I thought Cam Jensen was a girl, you know. Now it's a man.
Aliens are the reasons people are confused on what Hermione is
Yeah,
in Harry Potter, but
Why is she trans?
no.
it's a her, dude.
Oh,
Hermione.
Hermione. I get it.
I mean,
Sometimes.
Oh man.
but she's also a mudblood, isn't she?
Yeah, she's a mudblood.
Yeah, dude. So why didn't that get canceled? We're talking about canceling, right?
I don't know.
Calling
what you guys
somebody
are
a
even
mudblood?
Dude, we've
What,
had
is
this
she
conversation.
related? Is she related to a catfish?
It's Voldemort is literally an analogy for like Hitler.
Oh.
He wants purebloods. He has a specific race in mind. This is the superior race, and he wants to wipe out everyone else, and everyone else is below him. That's Nazis.
God forbid the song comes out because the prairie dog said winter's gonna be short, dude. Those guys are gonna get fucked. They can't even go outside, dude. Get fucking skin cancer, dude. Voldemort. That's why his face was all fucked up.
Voldemort's the original reptile. Look at him.
Dude.
Fucking slits for noses. Got a snake around him all the time.
So that makes no sense now that we're talking about reptiles and stuff because they're like in the middle of winter, you know, it's the Arctic over there, and they got a giant snake out in, you know, negative 30 degree weather.
And they're just living life. They're cold-blooded. They wouldn't live through that. They
Don't
it's
they
called
freeze
they
and thaw
die,
out?
dude.
it's
They'll
called
die.
brumation or some shit like that. So it's like their equivalent of hibernation. But what they do is they freeze. They basically go into a slumber. Then they'll thaw out and then move on. It's called brumation.
Yeah, and then you know, in
think
Harry
frogs do
Potter,
it
they're
too, the
just
amphibians.
going all over the place, you know. The snake.
And
that
London's
giant one.
London has sunshine. What 5 days a year? God, maybe 6 if they're lucky. The Death Eaters are always fucking blocking the sun out.
And you mean to tell me that giant snake's gonna fit in one of those pipes from like 1473? You know,
Yeah, the
the
basilisk.
pipe like this small. It's gonna.
Yeah,
Come on, dude.
people aren't taking big shits back then. They didn't have modern plumbing.
Why do you think Hagrid had to live freaking all the way in the middle of the woods, dude?
Dude,
He would clog
You know,
up all the
he could-
toilets.
yeah, dude. He could have, you got to take his shit on the ground, dude. God was clogging up every toilet.
we
Like,
have a
good God.
90-foot snake living
Big ass
under
out of here, dude.
the castle.
Yeah.
And that's like a huge dungeon, but no one could find it.
The whole.
You mean to tell me someone
the whole-
can't stick their wand and do echolocation or some shit?
Yeah. Or they don't
Okay.
have like the plants of, you know, they have like the plants.
Yeah,
Like the architects, they have like the plants, a draft or whatever.
yeah, 4 teenagers make the
Or
Marauders
even
map,
like
and they
have
don't.
like give yourself X-ray vision. Like, oh shit, like you know what I mean?
I mean, freaking Harry Potter was.
Or just blast the
had the
rocks and then
cloak.
repair them immediately. Dude, J.K. Rowling, your series sucks. Now that we think
Now
about
that
it.
we're debunking all the fake stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She didn't have enough imagination for.
Look, 4 teenagers
No wonder
make
I
a
was so
map
bored.
with all the secret passageways. But no teacher knows about it. Some of the smartest
Yeah.
teachers, they say, this person's a genius.
Been alive for 1,000 so years and can't figure it out.
Yeah, 4-class clowns figure it out. So stupid.
Damn. J.K.
Cancel Harry
Rowling.
Potter immediately.
But that's one thing also that's true in real life, you know, like teachers, when they're like, you always, oh, teacher's supposed to be smarter than you, dude.
yeah.
And you're like, dude, this teacher's not smarter than you. Dude, I saw her try to parallel park. Miss Ang.
Didn't you notice, though, that all of like the teachers we always thought, because I'd imagine there's a lot of similarities, on the teachers that we thought were the smartest and coolest were the ones that were always open to what the kids thought.
Yeah.
Like, did you not? That's what I noticed, at least. Like, the
Yeah.
ones I had the most respect for and that really thought, like, this person really knows what they're talking about are the ones that would genuinely interact with the kids and like receive
Engage,
feedback. And
Yeah. They're like talking every, because you remember this teacher, Mr. McGregor?
The math teacher in
The
junior
math
high?
teacher. Yeah, because
Dude, that was the...
okay.
Listen, I never failed a class, right? I was a pretty good kid.
You failed Mr. McGregor?
I failed Mr. McGregor's class, dude.
Ah, dude, are you serious?
I went to summer school because of that guy.
Damn, he was my favorite math teacher, bro. I had
Yeah.
Mr. Howell.
He failed me because of some test. And you know how it was like you had to pass
Yeah.
or whatever? Like I missed the day or something. I don't know. But I took summer class because of him.
No, see, for me, it was a completely different experience, dude. So I had this guy, Mr. Howell.
Yeah.
And, dude, you were probably racist. But, like, so one day, dude, he literally kicked me out of class. Like, this kid was asking me for a pencil, right? So I had an extra pencil. I turned around and, like, gave him a pencil. And he thought I was the one that needed a pencil. He's like, you're going to come unprepared in my classroom again, Padilla. Get the hell out of here. Like, takes me. I'm like, dude. I'm like, this guy Tim that sits behind me, you know, he was obviously on shrooms and stuff. You know, he's freaking over here spewing freaking, you know, out of his mouth, dude. Yeah, sends
Bro,
me
he's
to
in
freaking,
ESL. He just walked in the wrong classroom. Apologize immediately.
sends me to freak. So I get sent to another class.
Then they sent Jose back to ES.
Yeah, dude. I get sent to ESL, dude.
They're like, what English second language? Pronounce this letter C. There aren't two
What in
C's
the-
in the
I couldn't
alphabet.
graduate.
Immigration is going on here.
Okay, but let me finish my story. So there was this guy, Mr. McGregor, and he looked like Skeletor. Like he was just like super skinny.
Smell reeked of coffee.
Yeah, and then he
Dude.
wore like a big old coat, you know?
Yeah.
And he'd always carry like a briefcase. He wouldn't say a word, and he was just like all business. And like I was always scared of that kid when I was like when I first started junior high. So I'm like, dude, who's this kid? He looked like Voldemort with hair. And then like when I finally got out of Mr. Howell's class, I go there, dude. So I was like, oh, dude, I'm gonna go to the spooky guy's class. I got an A the whole time, hobby, because he was like you. He'd be like, oh, we're gonna he'd make you go do the problem. You know, he'd be like, so you'd take turns, like you'd get like in a team. It's like, all right, so
Yeah.
you guys are gonna talk about it, and then one of you guys is gonna go do the problem on the board, and then you have like the easy button. You could press it. That was easy when you solved the problem. Obviously, it wasn't easy for fucking hobby, dude.
Got an F.
God, hobby.
That's a letter Jose can pronounce.
But yeah, shout out to Mr. McGregor.
No, he was pretty cool, but I don't know what happened.
Damn, bro.
Were you just lazy?
No, because I was like.
So you're gonna blame it on the teacher?
I'm not blaming it on him. I think his method, like his pass fail method, sucked. You had to pass the quiz and the test or something with like a certain amount, and I was
See?
like 70.
It sounds to me like we have a cheater that would cheat off the EC assignments and copy, you know, the EC assignments, but when it came to the actual test, where you had to actually know and retain all the information throughout the course of the year, he couldn't retain it.
Dude, it's funny
This was
because
pre
How much were you copying?
100% of the time.
See? Take some accountability and apologize to Mr. McGregor.
I'm not
dude.
apologizing to nobody. I'm gonna take this chance and apologize
to absolutely
nobody.
Dude, hey, we had this teacher, right?
to Conor McGregor.
Remember this guy, Mr. Okeson?
That sounds. Oh, is it the cow guy?
The cow guy, bro.
Yeah.
So let me tell you the story, huh?
Was an agriculture dude?
No, he
really
was. He
was.
was a science. He was a science teacher.
Okay.
But so you walk into his room, he's got like cow posters everywhere. Cows like sticking their tongue out, like on the trim of the top of the room,
almost
like,
like cow
little
hentai.
cow print. And then he had like stools, cow print on top, udders in the bottom. Okay, so you remember that? Yeah, you could like grab the udders under the stool, dude. And like one day we're just talking about like, you know, oh, what would be your dream, whatever, you know, when you grow up, Jose, or you know, so we're telling all our dreams and aspirations. So I you know, we asked him, it's like, so what about you, Mr. Okeson? What's like your dream day? You know, and he's like, well, my dream day is I'm just in my car. And I'm driving down this freeway and there's no sort of traffic. And it's just, I'm in the Great Plains, nice hilly roads, just beautiful, you know, grass, just everywhere on the sides. And then, you know, I'm driving for like, you know, 20 miles and there's only one stoplight the whole time. And I stop at the stoplight and this big, beautiful brown cow turns over, winks at me and crosses the street. That was his dream day.
He was probably on some drugs if that's what he's hoping for.
That was
I'm
his
just
dream
saying.
day, dude.
There's nothing wrong with that dream. I'm just saying if he
Dude,
thinks the
I
cow
thought he was gonna say like a big Reno Brown beautiful girl, you know? And he's like cow.
he meant to say heifer, but he
No,
he,
but
he didn't want to get
realized what was
he
happening.
didn't want to get canceled.
Yeah, so yeah, he liked cows, dude. And he was a little bit weird, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he wasn't that weird, obviously.
Well, I think he had like the cow lungs too, right? And then you could just inflate them and stuff.
Oh, I don't know that he was making out with cow. You know, I brought him a cow tongue once.
So he liked the BBWs, huh?
Oh yeah, baby, those mulattoes, dude. So yeah, this is the original BBW, man. That MILF hunter.
That's weird. That he would have like all that stuff in his room.
So if you were an animal,
And it's
what,
not an exaggeration. Like
what
this
crush
really
would be
was
your
like
animal
a thing.
crush?
My crush.
Yeah, let's say we identified as animals. What animal would be?
Are
Would you wipe
If you
up?
identified as
Are we
Mr.
thinking-
Okeson, what animal would you,
Yeah.
would you choose?
Does it have to be the same species that as an animal I would identify
No,
with? Or it's
no.
inner species.
Interspecies,
Okay?
dude.
Let's go straight to
Inter-
Zootopia here.
Yeah, we-
Interspecies.
Hey, we don't discriminate. We're loving anything, dude.
Hmm.
What animal would
So
you?
do we have to
What's
identify
love
what we
got
would
to do-
identify as well?
got
Like
to do
what
with
your
it?
animal would be?
Sure. What animal would you
Tina
be?
Turner, great song.
That's a
Get
good
back to me on that. I have to think about that.
Do you don't have one?
one. You guys want to go
Do
back
you-
to?
Do you at least know what mate you'd have?
No, I don't even know that.
I already get a prime one.
This isn't something I've pondered.
No. What about you, Javi? You know? Yeah. Like what animal?
What
you'd
animal?
date?
I would date.
Yeah.
Like I would. I just had the same question you.
What animal I would fuck you?
Yeah, to clarify again.
Let's clarify this.
So what?
If I was the same species, or
Well,
we're
you
going,
could be any species if you want. You know, you could be a bird if you want. You can
I'm
be an
trying to become
avian.
interracial
You
animals.
can be
here.
a groundhog, dude. You could be a. You could be a freaking hog, a regular hog, a hog with a hog, baby.
Dang, bro, that's a hard one.
And you can't pick something like sheep because there are certain parts of the world where I mean that's even a normal thing. So
Yeah.
I mean, if I were an animal and if the side like the anatomy had nothing to do with it, I would go with poison dart frogs because I think they're pretty badass.
So you would be a poison dart frog?
I would be a poison dart frog.
Dude, that sounds fucking hot, bro.
And then I'm trying to think of like what animal I would be into.
Dang, what about you, Jose? Like,
Like what animal I would be, dude? If I was an animal, dude, I'd probably be. Fuck, what animal would I be, man?
You asked this question as if you had already pondered.
No,
it.
no,
Yeah,
it just came to mind. God freaking brought it up to me. If I was,
well, while you guys ponder that, let's ponder the question of the day.
Oh yeah, unsolved mysteries of the internet.
Yes, let's go. You guys ready for this one?
Yeah.
Touching back on time travel, how do I make contact with someone in the 70s? This person, steel pipe 22. Tomorrow I'm going to travel back to August 30th, 1974. I intend to, quote unquote, bump into a relative of mine, but I am unsure of how to go about this.
August 30th of 19 what?
74.
Who is this? Marty McFly's older brother?
Is that around the time frame?
Back to the
Back to the Future?
is in the 80s, but
Oh,
I don't
so
remember
this
what
is a
time
little-
it goes to.
Could you check maybe what happened in 1974? What was it? What date was it, Javi?
August 30th.
Dude, that was like after school, dude. Or when does school normally end? In July.
This was like midsummer.
August 30th. That would be a horrible day for me, dude. I'd be stuck at work.
1974.
1974?
Yes.
So I pulled up world events. So that's a Friday.
Ooh.
Belgrade. Dortmund Express train derails at the main train station in Zagreb, killing 153 passengers. A powerful bomb explodes at the Mitsubishi Heavy Industries headquarters in Marunouchi, Tokyo, Japan. 8 are killed. 378 are injured. 8 left-wing activists are arrested on May 19th, 1975 by the Japanese authorities. Sounds like tumultuous times.
Don't take a train.
Don't go to Tokyo.
Don't take a train, dude.
Yeah, so avoid Japan. Don't take trains. Wear corduroy bell bottoms.
Don't drive anything Mitsubishi.
Those were big, right? So anything Japanese, because Mitsubishi's Japanese. Don't interact with Japanese. Don't mention anime. Don't even think about sushi.
Is that is that after the concentration camps?
Yeah, man, that was in the 40s.
I'm just making sure.
So
For
you
our
failed
younger
math
audience.
and history, Mr. Straight A student.
Did you cheat in those two, Javi?
I cheated in every
God,
class,
dude. Look at
dude.
this guy, dude. Huh?
He's like,
Never got caught.
Except for the test.
how do you
Except
spell
for the
Hitler?
test word.
Except for when it mattered.
How do you spell Hitler?
Except for that one test.
Okay, so let's see. So
So I mean,
it'd be nice if he said, "Oh, I'm seeing my uncle." Is that what he said?
Well,
It was his uncle.
he
or-
is a
relative.
relative,
Yeah.
so he has to blend in, right? Like your attire has to be different. I think corduroy bell bottoms is going to be a really big thing.
So which those are easy to find out because now everything's vintage or
Yeah,
thrifting is in. You
weren't
know?
like leather vests that mimicked
no deodorant.
leather vests that mimic like Native Americans with the fringe, right? Those like big things
Don't-
are suede.
Let your bush grow.
Let it
Don't
grow.
Let it grow. Let
Yeah.
it grow, dude.
You just said don't.
No, I said let your bush grow.
He said don't, then he stuttered, and then he just said let
Yeah,
it
dude.
grow.
Freaking, I got ESL, you freaking assholes.
Sorry, dude.
So let your bush grow.
Yeah,
Okay, and then no deodorant probably.
no,
Long hair, longer hair.
yeah.
Unless you get a bowl cut, probably.
You have to look like
74.
Shaggy from school.
Learn to
Anyway,
point
yeah.
diagonally from your shoulder up, and then diagonally down from that same shoulder,
You have to constantly
and
walk
repeat
like
that.
Yeah.
And what else? Oh, maybe wear. Yeah, did you say shoes?
I didn't say which shoes to wear.
Yeah, because don't be wearing
Platform
some
platform
nice
shoes.
What are disco shoes? What do those look like?
No, platforms. I want to say was the '80s. I could be wrong. I don't know what disco shoes. Just
Just go
dress
shoe,
shoes.
bro. I'm going off The Simpsons.
Oh, you
Where he
would
had the fish in his shoes.
listen to Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Do you?
The Bee Gees. That was big too in the '70s.
So let's say he's got his attire, he's got his music. Don't take your phone, you idiot.
Yeah, don't take your phone.
Yeah,
They're not gonna even have Wi-Fi. You're not gonna be able to use your phone.
or maybe because now that we've been talking about time traveling,
Dude,
you know, have you seen
to
the
prove it.
people that they're like with phones, like in a weird thing?
Yeah,
Like the Mike Tyson one? That there was a phone in
Yeah,
his
there's
fight?
like somebody's got like a phone.
It looks like the
Have
new
you seen-
iPhone 12.
have
Or
you
the
seen that
Galaxy?
picture of this? He looks exactly like Jay-Z, and I think that they claim that photo was
Oh,
taken
and
like
in 1910 or something like
yeah,
that.
like 1920s or
dude.
something like that. And people are because they always claim that he's always ahead of everything. Like he just knows what's happening before it happens.
So
It's
like,
'cause
oh,
he's a
he's time
time traveler.
traveling, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe this kid's age would have helped, you know? Because also it's
And
like
knowing which relative too, because you
I
would treat
imagine-
women and men very, very differently back then.
and then especially where you're gonna go. Because if you're like 12 and you're gonna time travel to like New York, oh, dude,
Just watch Home Alone Lost in New York before
Yeah,
you go. Then you might survive.
you're gonna end up getting named like me, dude. Freaking bottom taker, bro.
Or maybe he goes and he starts the Warriors fucking gang right before the 80s. Makes that movie, The Warriors.
He's meeting a relative. But
He-
that is kind of weird because then it would be either that should mean that it's an older person that's trying to meet a relative then. Because if it's like a kid, why are you going to meet your great grandpa? He's not even going to know you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I mean, 70s didn't happen too long ago. It's
Well, I
50
think he
years
also
ago.
mentions he's asking if there are phone books in the 70s and where does he find them?
Oh, just in a phone book they had those, you know? Or you can call 1-800-CALLATT.
collect.
Free for you, cheap for them.
This is a collect call.
You guys remember that? Call
To
ATT.
accept the fees or whatever, press whatever. I remember though. I remember phone books. I remember phone booths.
Dude, if you're looking for a phone book, just open somebody's mailbox. Or just walk through a neighborhood and they'll be there like at their doorstep, probably.
I remember messing with like as kids you would pass the time if you were like at a restaurant or something and they had them outside. Some of the restaurants had them outside and they found like your parents found a friend, they'd be talking forever. You just go and act like you replace calls on the phone. You just press the buttons.
Well, you would do it as a kid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I would do that. I would do 1-800-CALLATT. I'm like, oh, I'm going to call someone. And I would call them and they'd be like, hey. Because they'd be like, hey, it's Jose, you know? But then they get mad at me because like, what are you calling me from? You know? Then I actually see them like 3 weeks later because we don't have
You
actual
owe me some
phones.
money.
Yeah, they're like, dude, what did you call me on a collect line, you know? Like, oh, I thought it was free for you and cheap for them. It's like, the other way around. It's free for you, and it's not cheap for me, dude. Hey, I wonder if you should call it, Javi.
See if it's still up.
Yeah, you should call it right now, Javi.
We'll see.
And as he's doing that, I mean, hopefully you think we've answered his question reasonably.
Yeah.
Just brush up, watch a couple 70s movies, mimic their behavior, learn their vernacular. They have a very specific way of saying things.
Don't get offended.
Don't get offended.
Because, dude, back then, if you get offended, you'll get triggered.
Yeah, people will beat you up for being offended.
Oh, you don't agree with this? They'll call you some.
You have to kind of conform to them. So
certain stuff.
Don't think you're gonna go change trends because they're gonna just beat your ass.
No,
Put it on
It's
speaker?
telling me to dial the number.
So 1-800.
COLLECT.
1-800
CALL.
CALLATT. Down the line.
Put it on speaker so people can.
Welcome to AT&T. Para español.
I think this is.
Make a call.
I can help you with your calling issue. Please tell me the phone number associated with your AT&T service.
Oh no, this is like AT&T.
Yeah, this is actual AT&T.
Dang, dude.
They bought it
They
out.
got
I thought we were
bought
gonna
out.
time travel, dude. I felt like we were time traveling for a second, dude. Man.
Oh man.
Hey, what? So maybe let's not be animals. Like, what's a moment that you guys could wish you guys could go back to?
Like what moments we would like to go back to.
Yeah, because that was fun, man. I remember like when there was like phone booths was cool. Like everything with coins. Remember how cool coins were back then, dude?
Remember the green power supply boxes?
In front of the lawns?
Where would they be?
Like they would be literally just in the ground. They're power supply boxes.
Just like big square ones, metal ones.
Big green ones. And
You
then
can sit on top.
that'd always be home base for like hide and go seek.
Yeah.
Or the
You know
freeze
what I'm
zone
talking about,
for
right?
like
The square big ones.
for freeze tag and all that. And for some reason kids felt like if you were next to it long enough, you were just gonna get like radiation or some shit. Yeah.
Dude, and they'll always be so hot because it was like always where there was like no trees, you know?
Yeah.
It'd just be like.
I mean, I'm trying to think of.
And then you were like super little, you couldn't climb on top. If you were like, maybe
True.
you're like a first grader, and then you got like this third graders that can hop on top of it. And they're like,
Yeah.
oh, look at you freaking.
I like my independence, so I don't think I could go back to being a kid. So I'll say like right after high school because I mean, maybe the shift is what worked, but I think I've said this before on a podcast. I worked only 3 days a week, 12-hour shifts. So it kind of like the days dragged. I did like my job though, but I always had Wednesday off and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So like my schedule was always free. I could go to trips on the weekend. Played a lot of video games back then. Sometimes it was just a lot of fun. So maybe like
I feel like I'm living
19,
your.
18 to 20. That's the time I'd like to
That
go
is a
back
good
to.
age, dude.
Because I still think people made a lot of time to still see each other, even though technology was like, it was already getting big, but it wasn't what it is now. Right? Like Twitter, I think existed back then, but it wasn't massive. I think Facebook.
You
was
weren't
just
weird
getting
if you
going.
didn't have it. Even
Yeah,
Facebook,
like, yeah,
it was like
people
You
were
were
like, oh,
weird
you should.
if you did have it.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, like because I heard Facebook, I'm like, what the fuck is a Facebook?
yeah.
And they're like, oh, it's like a MySpace but better. And I go, I don't know
Like,
how that
we're
could
not
be
gonna
better.
fucking
MySpace
trade
sucked.
MySpace.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I didn't even. I had a MySpace. I'm like, this is stupid, and I just didn't do it. And I've carried that. I don't have a Facebook either, but
God, that's good because
I
that's
think
like a
18 to
good.
20 because that's 2008 to 2010. I think that was a lot of fun.
Dude, that's a great one because it's also like a great balance of like you're kind of like responsible but still not responsible. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
you're still not fully.
So you can still get your own money, but then you still don't really have a lot of responsibilities with
Yep.
that money.
It was. You're not questioning yourself. It's like, oh, I'm this old. I should be having these responsibilities.
Yeah, oh,
You're still kind of like figuring shit out.
I should put this money aside, you know?
And then here's the other question: would that us traveling back to that time, would we carry the knowledge we have now, or you're just saying, you blink, you wake up, and now you're that age, but you have nothing over the past however many years?
Dude, for me, I almost wouldn't. God, it's kind of a hard question because I almost wouldn't want to carry my knowledge now. Because one thing that I miss from when you're like 18, 20, 21, whatever, you just don't like, you don't have fear really. You know what I mean?
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. There's
You
lack
don't
of fear.
overthink stuff. You're just like, oh, I'm just gonna do it.
You're impulsive. You do
Yeah.
it, and then it's liberating.
Like nobody can even question you. You're like, oh, I'm gonna go freaking, push Miriam, the freaking security guard. I'm gonna push her into the little creek. You do it. I don't care if I get fired. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a recklessness that you have at that age.
And it's nice, you just
Yeah.
have like so much. It almost leads to like extra confidence because you're not like thinking of like worst case scenario. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So now you're like, you have to make like a educated decision. It's like, well, maybe if I do this, it's gonna be bad because this might go wrong. But back then, you're like, dude, I'm 18.
I'm invincible.
It's like it's like I feel like it's actually when you're like 1, because it's like all your other kids are a year, but it's like your first year being an adult,
Yeah.
So you're like actually 1. So I'm like, oh, I'm still a baby. I'm only 18. I'm gonna go light
I don't
this
know any
church on
better.
fire.
Yeah,
What about you?
would have to say the same. I think that's a pretty good time frame where you can still go everywhere you want and stuff, and you still have your own money, and
So what would you be doing, Javi?
just blowing all my money on drugs and alcohol.
Okay.
Dang, dude.
Blowing all my money on drugs and alcohol.
That's
Oh.
it, dude. And then he thinks he's got CTE from playing sports.
I
was just out blowing.
I was a
All the
straight A
acid he
student.
was doing, dude.
I was a straight A student in financing. I'm gonna blow all my money.
Yeah, dude.
I thought I was the Wolf of Wall Street back
Yeah.
then.
Jordan Belfort in the flesh. But funny that you asked that question, 'cause now I remember I do have a Twitter, but I only follow like certain accounts. Like I follow LBJ, followed Kobe, just like a couple people in, like some funny accounts. That's all I follow them for. And then I remember seeing this post and it said, if you could relive one moment again in your life, what would it be and why? Like if you had a chance to redo that moment, knowing. And I just scrolled because I saw like some of them were like pretty cool, touching moments. And one was like really sad, but it was hilarious because the guy was very honest about it. And he goes, I think he said like 12 or 13. And his mom's like, if you could have one wish, what's the one wish you would have? What's the thing you want the most right now? And he said at the same time, without questioning, 3 of his siblings all said for dad to be home from the war. And he's like, a new baseball mitt. He said after they shouted that, his dad walked around like from behind a corner. So the dad heard them all. And he heard that, and he's like, I did get my mitt, but he goes, I don't feel the relationship between my dad and I have been the same since.
And now
He's like, I'd like a redo.
and now he's trying to time travel back to the 70s.
That's it.
So he can say
Damn
my
it,
dad. Just, my dad from the war.
But like when I
You
read
like
that,
you fucked up.
when I read that, I read it from both perspectives, right? Like I thought of the dad and thinking of like, because this isn't like a 9-year-old kid or a 7-year-old kid where it's like this kid's like 13. He should know, like he should have his priorities a bit better in order. Like his
baseball mitt.
his dad could not come back from war, right? But in his mind, it's like, I just want a baseball mitt. And his 3 siblings, without skipping a beat, we want dad home from the war. Just like, so it's super sad, like thinking of how crushing it would be if you were the dad and heard that. And then as a kid, just it's funny. And then you see your dad and you're like, oh shit, I wish for the wrong thing.
Now you can't even hug your dad.
No, like you hug
you
your
gotta
dad,
give him
but
you gotta give him a side hug.
it's
Hey,
false.
buddy.
Hey, champ.
Yeah, you just a fist bump.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, dude? I'm the man of the house now, dude. Oh, you're sleeping in my room, dude. I kicked mom downstairs, dude.
I got my baseball mitt.
Give me my baseball mitt. Dude, I don't know if there's like a couple, like what I know you were mentioning Kobe, dude. Like I went to Kobe's last basketball game in Utah,
Oh really?
and that was like, God, that was probably one of the best.
Dude, man,
Probably like,
he's my favorite athlete of all time, and I think it's just because he always put on a show.
and I always hated him, but for me, it's like when I went there, dude, it was just like all the Jazz fans that hated him too. Like everybody, like how like all the Jazz fans that hate him, bro.
Yeah.
It's like everybody was cheering for him. You know what I mean? And everybody was just like Kobe. Like all the people that you saw on TV that always, the guy with the chicken, like all the crazy Jazz fans that hate him.
Yeah.
Like everybody was just like chanting his name. Everybody was just like, you know, it's like, we want Kobe, like the whole arena, and they're like Jazz fans, dude. Like all these people that were like shitting on Kobe for, I don't know, you know, however long he played, dude, like 15
Yeah.
years or whatever.
He played
like
19
20
years.
And
Oh, was it
everybody,
19?
Like 19 or 20 years, yeah.
Yeah.
and like everybody's like cheering for him, dude. It's like, and that arena was loud. It was like louder than the playoffs for Utah, bro. So
Dude.
just that feeling was like,
And then he plays home court his very last game against the Jazz
against the Jazz
and drops 60 points.
So it's just like good history with the Jazz with
Yeah.
Utah, you know. So that's one thing I like about Utah basketball is how like they hate people, and I know there's like people Westbrook.
There's a level of respect.
Oh yeah, you know Westbrook. Oh, the Jazz fans here are rude, and yeah, there's some fans that have said wild shit. But dude, just imagine the things that they told Kobe. You know what I mean?
Especially
Like if you
after
think you're
the-
Westbrook or Durant or those guys say, oh
Yeah, especially after
those fans are hard.
accusations, right?
Yeah.
Like especially after those accusations, which he was acquitted for, but like imagine what he heard. But to him it was like, I'm just gonna go out here and play and show these people I'm better.
And he liked destroying Utah, you know.
Yeah, he's like that's one thing he and Jordan seem to have in common is if they got angry, they seem to play better.
So that's why I think everybody appreciated it for the same reason, you know, you were like, he never cheated you out of a game, you know, so you go to watch him and he's just like,
The guy won a championship with a broken shooting hand finger. Like his right finger was it the middle finger or the right index finger?
I can't remember. There's
So
even
he's
one
like-
shot thing he shoots with the
Yeah,
slap.
but there was a championship series, and I think it's the second one he won with Pau. Because I don't think it was the first. I think it was the second. He just decided to start shooting left-handed, and he won a championship doing that.
Crazy, but that's one of the best events.
Dude, that would
I've
have been
gone
good.
to,
I did,
bro.
the last game I saw him was, oh man, it was long. It was like probably when Darren Williams was out here with Boozer. So that was well over 10 years ago.
Yeah, so that buzzer beaters are always cool, like sport games when you see like a buzzer beater.
And nothing better. Oh, no, there's a few things that are as good, but
So that, and then, what do you have any other like particular day or moment?
no, I mean I think just travel back in time to that time. I think it was a pretty cool time to live. Like you just left school. Much to your point, you now have less responsibility in that regard, but you're independent. So it's this weird transition phase. So I mean, you're right. You get to be a bit more reckless and do stuff.
Dude, we were grinding on poles, dude.
At
Imagine
work,
doing that now.
getting paid for it.
Yeah, being an idiot and shooting a ball from like across a lunchroom
Dude, we
while
acted like-
everybody's eating and not giving
we
a
were
shit,
so
dude.
loud.
Yeah. You know?
Dude, we were reckless.
And grinding up and down on a pole, dude. Imagine doing that now, dude.
Dude.
I could never. Like, if somebody gave me $100, dude, I'd be too embarrassed, bro. It's like, you know what I mean?
We acted a fool a lot, and it was just accepted. It really was.
Because like, oh, they're
accepted.
just like 18, you know?
Yeah,
Now you
and we
get
did a good
canceled
job,
real
and
quick.
I think that helped. Is that we were good at our jobs.
Look
So-
at these young bucks. Let them have fun. Let them
I
loose.
feel like that's what I miss the most is like not having to worry about it being immortalized like something stupid like that forever. You know what I mean? Like all these like I mean, of course there was camcorders and shit, but like you do something
No,
stupid.
everyone's first intention wasn't bringing out a phone and recording.
Yeah, it was like like you
You're just
actually
living in the
lived
moment.
It. Yeah. I think that's what I missed the most.
Just living in the moment?
Yeah,
that's
like now
good.
it's like we all and I'm guilty of it too, just as much as anybody.
I think we all are. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's at the Alicia Keys concert, dude. Just going like this the whole time, dude.
So I can relive it in my living room.
Dude, man, that would be a good concert to go to.
But that is one thing that bugs me, dude. It's like you're saying, you know, it's like people are recording like at somewhere like I don't even put. Sometimes people will be like, "Oh, you don't record stuff like that." It's like, well, dude, it's just like, oh, but you can have it for later. It's like, well, I actually want to enjoy it. I want to enjoy it during the moment.
It's different from even like watching it through the screen while you're there.
Yeah.
And then how many people truly go back and watch it though? Not very many. I don't think so.
No.
Usually when you see something like that,
Because it
you
doesn't
see it once.
capture it the same. You know
It's
what I
not
mean?
the same because there's a whole environment, like the experience that led you to watch that, even driving to the location, parking.
Leave that up
all
to the
that stuff.
cameraman and just like, you know.
You need that 360 freaking cam on top of your head like a Gonzo hat, dude, and just recording everything.
Yeah, but again, it's more about the feeling, right? Your
Yeah.
memories are more ingrained on the feeling as opposed to what you're feeling or what you're seeing and hearing. Like that has an influence on it, but the feeling is what you remember the most.
Yeah. Even with people, right? Like
Yeah.
that's what you remember the most. Oh, this person made me feel some type of way. Oh, this guy made me feel good. This, you know.
Yeah, it's that one quote that people post like when they're being poetic. Which is a good quote though. I do agree with it. I think it said, "People may not remember what you say, but they'll always remember how you make them feel," type of thing. And That's what it is. If you're experiencing something, just enjoy it for what it is. Pictures are nice, and I'm not against pictures or some videos, but like take a moment. Don't be so worried about capturing a moment and just live it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a big
Like
difference.
how many pictures do we have together, dude?
Just
We
when
can
were
count them on
kids,
it. Yeah,
bro.
like, and we could count those on our hands. You know what I mean?
But it was just like when we were just like doing stupid things, you know?
When we were super bored. Yeah.
It's like, oh, we don't have anything to do. It's like a couple pictures doing something stupid, you know? Or what I missed too is like when, because we'd make videos too, but it was like when videos weren't so accessible to make almost like with your phone, you know?
Yeah.
When you can make like the quality looks kind of shitty or like I kind of miss that quality.
The
like,
golden era of YouTube is what I would call it, where YouTube wasn't necessarily monetized, so people would have these amateur videos that were very creative in like theory, and they were funny and entertaining, but it wasn't so
not super edited and not super crazy.
It's not very producer contrived. It's just
Yeah.
let's just do this and see how it
Record
works out.
this, and then whatever
Yeah,
comes
it
out.
feels
comes
like
out.
you're there almost, you know, because it's almost like
Like what we're doing right now,
Yeah.
without all
Essentially.
like the ad stuff around us and the names. If you remove all of like the visual effects, that's what the golden era of YouTube was.
oh, I'm gonna prank this person, and you don't even know you're supposed to be holding a camera properly, you know?
Yeah.
You're freaking videoing their
Just took-
feet.
You just had a coffee and you're super shaky.
Yeah, or you just tied it down to a chihuahua and it's just
Yeah.
Because you weren't
moving the whole
overthinking
time.
the technology, you know?
Yep.
Now you're like, oh, well, this you got to set up like this.
Yeah,
this you got to do like that.
it was about the content, not the visual aspects of
Yeah.
it all.
And that's what made... And I think we've talked about, like, Blair Witch Project here. I think that's what made it, like, so cool. Like,
That's what made it pretty
Just,
creepy, because it felt
just
real.
like, oh, dude, these guys are just, like, with their camera and they're running.
It was based on a true story, but
I can just hear the ground, you know? I can see the ground only.
yeah.
So, like, yeah. That's cool. Well, yeah, hopefully you meet your uncle or your relative.
Yeah, whoever your relative is. And hopefully it's for good purposes that you're meeting them, whether to be reconcile with them,
That's like,
talk them out of something terrible that they do in the future, and that's where you're going back. That's honorable. But, I mean,
oh, I'm going to go stab my uncle or something.
if
like
we've
that,
ever
you know?
learned anything from any time-traveling movies is you don't mess with the time. You can't change. I mean, you can. You shouldn't. It really affects stuff.
So maybe you just have to stare at him from a distance, you know?
Yeah.
God, R.I.P.
R.I.P. to
Any
his
final
uncle.
words, Javi, for you about time or
Time and space and
Yep, quantum physics.
quantum physics? No, man. Nah,
Dude,
just watch that Arrival movie. If you want to know
Arrival.
about time and space,
Is it on Netflix?
I don't know.
Hey, we need to make like a Netflix list because I don't never know what to watch, man.
I have some good
Some
things
good
to watch.
movies?
Yeah.
Maybe we can do that next episode.
So,
So I think it's about time we give some
time for
wholesome
the wholesome advice.
Wholesome advice. One of you guys go first.
Well, do you know what, dude? Maybe I'll go first, and I I guess this podcast we've been kind of having like silly times the last couple of episodes, but this one's pretty cool to just remember some of those things that you used to do when you didn't have any like second guessing yourself or second thoughts or maybe like worries of failure. You know what I mean? That you weren't afraid to fail or to take chances, and you didn't think how people would view you or anything like that, you know? I'm not telling you to go do something shitty or, oh, I'm gonna go freaking piss on my neighbor because I'm feeling a little bit reckless.
bad
This is
man.
after you just said you'd push an old lady into a
2010.
creek.
I guess, but I'm saying like maybe just try to get back to that mentality, or I don't know how to get to that mentality. So maybe if you think about how free you used to be back then when you didn't have as many responsibilities, like we really are the ones that kind of enslave ourselves with what we choose to prioritize with our time and with our like mental awareness, or with we kind of just start adding so many things to us that sometimes just talking about them, like they just don't matter, because when we were younger, like they didn't really matter, so we just like start making too many things matter, and then we just kind of put too much like armor or things on us that it kind of like holds us down from things when we used to just be free. And we were talking about scientists earlier, and I don't know, it was like Joe Rogan or it was like a scientist there, but he said it's like the thing that I want scientists to do is just to like never lose like the kid in them, where they like question everything.
Yeah.
So you were talking about scientists are like, yeah, where you question everything, where you just like be free with your thoughts, that nothing is like too stupid to just like don't like kill the kid in you. So don't kill the kid in you, dude. You freaking 1970s time traveler.
Homicides.
Childlike creativity. Kanye talks about that. That's actually pretty good advice. Javi, you got one?
Not right now. You can go first.
Dang. I guess we're in February now. So I know a lot of people have New Year's resolutions. I know in an episode we kind of shit on that. I mean, if you really have resolutions, always stick to them. We don't agree on just doing it in the new year. Do it whenever you feel like it, whenever you're inspired to. But if you're starting to give up on them or have given up, pick it back up. Get back onto it. So whatever your goals were, I guess just hop back onto that bandwagon. Don't let go of that goal.
Or if, like you said, if you don't have a goal and you just want to do it
make one
now,
yeah.
make a new one. That's what I started doing. I started trying to run, dude. But
As your exercise again?
trying to exercise again, dude. Waiting for my lab results that I got for my blood drawn. So
Superhuman lab results.
all right, Javi, you ready? We
Yeah.
give you some extra time, dude.
No, I think my advice would be just be do Nike and just do it, you know? Like don't let your fears run your life, cuz then you'll just never do anything different, never change anything about yourself. I think a lot of people might feel stuck right now. Like you and you're running, you know? You just got to just do it.
Well, I'm running on a treadmill, so technically I am stuck.
Yeah,
Just running in place.
in perpetual motion.
He's going nowhere fast.
Yeah. In the most literal sense. But yeah, I don't know. Just don't let your fears kind of like keep you stuck or grounded in a certain situation or mind state.
I think that's good too that you mentioned that, because even just like with COVID, you know, there's like a lot of reasons not to do stuff too, you know, even if it's just simple stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to exercise. That's what was going on with me. It's like, oh, I don't really want to exercise because the gym's gonna be weird, you know, or this is gonna be weird. It's like, dude,
Well, slow progress
everything's
is better
gonna
than
be-
none, that's for sure.
slow motion is better than no motion.
That's
Slow
exactly
motion
what
for
Juvenile
me.
said.
Slow motion for me.
Yeah. Well, it's been another good episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Some serious tones, some enjoyable ones. Piedra Fria, out.
And this is your boy, the Bottom Taker. Rest in peace.
And I'm the Cockman Rooster Rick. Goodbye, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you guys want us to talk about. Leave them in the comments.
And
IG, YouTube. I don't know if Spotify has comment section. Any of the podcast apps.
just talk to the Lord.
Talk to the Lord.
And then we're going to be having a Valentine's surprise next week. So get ready for that, and for love and a lot of stuff in the air. A lot of pheromones, hormones, and
Metronomes. Let's go.
metronomes. Beans and rice. Love you guys.